to our channel Let Us Learn. Please do subscribe my video whoever watching the video for the first time. So we are covering the next topic, that is water, 8th topic. So we have total 15 chapters as per the Clear State 2022 syllabus. So from that 8th chapter we are going to deal in today's topic, that is water. So let's start the video. So for the construction of tanks, what are the different steps taken? We are going to learn now. So source of flood water should be identified. So wherever the floods water is moving, so that source we have to identify first. Next we have to dig canals from the regions where the water was flooding. So during the flood water, wherever the flood water is moving, in that region we have to dig the canals. Next we have to start constructing the bunds in that canals. So next the bund we have to build it with stones from inside. So inside the bund we have to put the stones. Next build two outlets from the embankment on both the sides. So two outlets we have to put from the embankment. So two outlets we have to put from both the sides from the bunds to move for the movement of the water. So these are the different steps used for the construction of the tanks. So how are the tanks constructed? We have to see from where the flood water is moving first. The source of the flood water we have to identify. Next we have to dig canals in that region where the flood water is coming. And next we have to start constructing the bund. So how you will construct the bund? After digging the canals, you will put some stones inside that bund, and you will construct the bund. Finally, from the bunds you will put two outlets from the embankment, and next our tank is ready. The construction of the tank is completed. So whenever the gate is open, if we open the gate, the water will flow out, and if we close it, water will be stopped in that region. So if the gates are open, the water will flow out of the canals, and if the gates are closed, the water will stop flowing. So some tanks will be connected with each other through the canal. So if two tanks are there in some particular radius, then in between one canal will be kept. If one tank is filled, then from that tank, through that canal, the water will be moving to the other tank through this canal. As a result, both will be filled. So in this way, for some tanks, this canals also will be constructed. Next, the kings of Kakatiya and Nizam dynasty. So this was started by the kings of Kakatiya and Nizam dynasty. What they have done is they have put chains between the tanks. So whatever tanks are there in Telangana, they have constructed some chains in between the tanks, so that if one tank is filled, the water will be moved through this chain to the another tank. So this was done by the kings of Kakatiyas and Nizam dynasty. Next, sluice. So this is the term used to build completely with the stone. So the sluice is the term used for a tank which is built completely with the help of the stones to let the extra water flow. Whatever extra water is there, so to let the extra water flow out, so this sluice is built with the help of the stones. So next important concepts here are Ramappa tank. So what is Ramappa tank? Means Ramappa tank is constructed near the Ramappa temple in Jayashankar district. So Ramappa tank is constructed in near the Ramappa temple, and it is in the district Jayashankar district. So this is a man-made tank. So man only has constructed this tank in 13th century. So in the 13th century, this Ramappa tank has been constructed. The area of the Ramappa tank is 24 square kilometers. So area of the Ramappa tank is 24 square kilometers, and the temple, that is Ramappa temple, is well known for its sculpture. So Ramappa tank is constructed near the Ramappa temple. It is located in Jayashankar district, and it is a man-made tank which was constructed in 13th century, and the area of this Ramappa tank is 24 square kilometers, and the temple is very famous and rich for its sculpture. Next comes the Panagal tank. Panagal tank, another name of Panagal tank is Udaya Samudram. Panagal tank, another name of Panagal tank is Udaya Samudram. It is located in Nalgonda district, 3 kilometers away from the headquarters of Nalgonda district. So Panagal tank, also called as Udaya Samudram, it is located in Nalgonda district. Nalgonda district, where it is located in Nalgonda district, is 3 kilometers away from the district Nalgonda district headquarters, and it is built by the Kakatiya king called as Prataparudra. So Kakatiya king Prataparudra has constructed this Panagal tank, and this tank is a source of irrigation for thousands of acres. So for thousands of acres of land, it is a source of irrigation. So here a famous temple temple is Chaya Someshwara Swami temple. So the famous temple which is located near this Panagal tank is Chaya Someshwara Swami temple. So here in the Ramappa temple, in the near the Panagal tank, Chaya Someshwara Swami temple is located. Next comes the Hussain Sagar. So Hussain Sagar is located in Hyderabad. Hussain Sagar is located in Hyderabad. It is one of the biggest tank which is located in Telangana. And this was built by Qutub Shahi rulers in 1562. So Hussain Sagar has been constructed by Qutub Shahi rulers in 1562, and the bund which has been constructed in this Hussain Sagar is converted into road in 1946. So the bund which is constructed has been converted into road in 1946. This bund will join two twin cities. So Secunderabad and Hyderabad will be joined with this bund, with the help of this bund. Area of this Hussain Sagar is 5.7 square kilometers and the depth is 32 feet, and at present this Hussain Sagar is filled completely with Iponia plants. So about Hussain Sagar, I am going to repeat. Hussain Sagar, it is located in Hyderabad. It is one of the biggest tanks in Telangana, and it was built by Qutub Shahi rulers in 1562, and there is a bund constructed in the Hussain Sagar. This bund will join the two twin cities, that is Hyderabad and Secunderabad. Next tank is Usman Sagar, which is located in Hyderabad, and it is built on the sub-river Musi. So Usman Sagar is built on the sub-river Musi, and it is also known as Gandipet tank. It is also known as Gandipet tank. Usman Sagar, located in Hyderabad, it is built on the sub-river Musi, and it is also known as Gandipet tank, and it is a freshwater tank. So Usman Sagar is a freshwater tank. The fiber plants like amaranthus, jute, flax, etc., these are soaked in tank water. So wherever tanks are located in the villages, the farmers will soak these fiber plants in the water, in the tank water, to make the ropes, and they will make the ropes. So here fiber plants like amaranthus are used for making the ropes. When the level of water is decreased in the tank, if the level of water is lesser in the tanks, then at that particular time, the farmers will do fishing. So the farmers will do fishing when the level of the water is lesser in the tanks. Next, farmers will do desiltation during the summer. So this whatever mud they have obtained through this desiltation will be used in the fields. So desiltation by the farmers is done during the summer season, and this mud will be used in the fields. So desilting will help in increasing the capacity of the tank. So desiltation process which is done during the summer season, and this mud which is coming out through the desiltation process is used in the fields because it is rich in it increases the fertility of the soil. This mud will be used in the fields because it will increase the fertility of the soil, and this desilting will help in increasing the capacity of the tank. Next, government have formed agricultural water management societies. Government has formed agricultural water management societies for the development of the tanks all over the state. So for the development of the tanks all over the state, the government has formed which organization? Agricultural water management societies for Laknavaram, Cheruvu, Warangal. So Mission Kakatiya. So Mission Kakatiya is formed for desiltation program. It is mainly done for the desiltation program by the state government to increase the water storage capacity of the tanks. So to increase the water storage capacity of the tanks, Mission Kakatiya has been formed by the government of Telangana. So Mission Kakatiya main objective is to desiltation program. Next, Udaipur. It is located in Rajasthan and it is called a city of lakes. Udaipur is called as a city of lakes because more number of lakes are present in this area. So Udaipur is called a city of lakes in Rajasthan. And one of the important lake which is located in Udaipur is Pichola Lake. So one of the lake which is located in Udaipur, because it is called a city of lakes, one of the lake which is important is Pichola Lake, and it is built in 1362 by Banjaras. So Banjaras have built in this Pichola Lake in 1362, and later on it was developed by the King Uday Singh. So Pichola Lake, which is located in Udaipur, is built in 1362 by the Banjaras, and later on it was developed by King Uday Singh. all the places, all the important places which are required for the people, they were built on the banks of the lakes. So here nearby the lakes only, all the places were built. Out of that, the famous are Jagnivas and City Palace. So Jagnivas and City Palace are the famous places which are located on the banks of the lakes. So here important point to be remembered is Udaipur, it is called the city of lakes, and Pichola Lake is an important one out of that. Next comes the Godavari River. Godavari River, it is originating from the hills of Brahmagiri of Western Ghats and Triambakeshwar. So Godavari, it is originating. So where is the originating place? Starting place of this Godavari River is Brahmagiri hills of Western Ghats at Triambakeshwar. This is the origin of the river Godavari, which is located in Nasik district, Maharashtra. To our state, this Godavari river is coming at Kandukurti. So it is coming at Kandukurti, that is in Nizamabad district. So Godavari river, the origin is Brahmagiri hills of Western Ghats at Triambakeshwar, that is Nasik district, Maharashtra. In Telangana, it is seen in Kandukurti, that is at Nizamabad district. So it will travel around, Godavari river will travel around 1465 kilometers to reach our state. So it is traveling 1465 kilometers to travel to our state from Maharashtra. So Telangana, in Telangana, this Godavari river is flowing through the districts of Nirmal, Nizamabad, Jagatyal, Manchiryal, Peddapalli, Jayashankar, Bhupalpalli and Bhadradri. So in Telangana, this river is flowing from in the districts of Nirmal, Nizamabad, Jagatyal, Manchiryal, Peddapalli, Jayashankar, Bhupalpalli and Bhadradri. And this Godavari is dividing into three parts. Godavari in Telangana is dividing into three parts, and it is finally meeting the Bay of Bengal. Where it is meeting Bay of Bengal is at Antarvedi in the East Godavari and Yanam. So Godavari, it is dividing into three parts, and finally it is meeting the Bay of Bengal at Antarvedi and Yanam. Next, the source of livelihood for the people who are living nearby the Godavari, their source of livelihood is fishermen. So they will get the fishes from this Godavari river and they will sell and they will earn their livelihood. So the first dam which is constructed across the river Godavari is located at Gangapur. So the first dam which is constructed on river Godavari is located at Gangapur, and this dam will supply the drinking water to the cities of Nasik and Triambakeshwar. To all the cities of Nasik and Triambakeshwar, this dam which is located at Gangapur will supply the drinking water. And other projects constructed on river Godavari are Jayakwadi, Sriram Sagar and Dhavaleshwaram. So four projects have been constructed on river Godavari, that is Gangapur. One is at Gangapur, Jayakwadi, Sriram Sagar project and Dhavaleshwaram project. These are constructed on the river Godavari. Next, Devadula Etipotala program in Jayashankar district will supply water to Warangal, Jayashankar and Mehabubabad districts. So Devadula Etipotala program, Jayashankar district. Next, in Maharashtra and Telangana, for cultivation of some crops like sugarcane, paddy, cotton, tobacco, chili and fruit orchards, Godavari water is used. So Godavari water is used in both the states of Maharashtra and Telangana to cultivate some crops like sugarcane, paddy, cotton, tobacco, chili, fruit orchards. Godavari river basin area and its irrigated area. So Godavari's river basin area and irrigated area is 3,12,812 square kilometers. So the Godavari river area is 3,12,812 square kilometers. So it is around 1/10 of the Indian subcontinent land. So subcontinent land, 1/10 of the Indian subcontinent land, this river basin area is compared to. Next, this area will be more than that of countries like England and Ireland. If England and Ireland both are combined together, are put together, then that land area will be equal to this river basin area of Godavari. England and Ireland. Next, so Godavari land, the land near Godavari is the center of spirituality and culture. So the nearby the lands of whatever lands are located nearby, places located nearby are the centers for spirituality and culture. And Kumbh Mela will be organized at Nasik. At Nasik, Kumbh Mela will be organized. And Triambakeshwar is also a place which is located near the Godavari river, and it is one of the 12 Jyotirlingas of Lord Shiva. So Triambakeshwar is one of the famous spiritual center where Lord Shiva will be worshipped. Next, Sachkhand Gurudwara is located in Nanded. Sachkhand Gurudwara is located at Nanded, and Saraswati Saraswati temple is located at Basra in Nirmal district. And this temple was constructed during the Chalukyas period. So Saraswati temple is located in Basra. Sachkhand Gurudwara is located in Nanak. Triambakeshwar, Lord Shiva, one of the famous temple. So out of the 12 Jyotirlingas, one of the Jyotirlinga is located in Triambakeshwar, and this Saraswati temple, one temple is located at Kashmir and another temple is located in Basra. So it is very famous. This is one of the very famous temple, and Goddess Saraswati is considered as a deity of knowledge. So Goddess Saraswati is considered as a deity of knowledge. And another spiritual centers which are located in Telangana are Lakshmi Narasimha Swami temple in Dharmapuri, Rama temple in Bhadrachalam, Gautamishwara in Manthani. So these are the different temples which are located in Telangana. So Saraswati temple, Lakshmi Narasimha Swami temple, Rama temple and Gautamishwara temple. These are located in Telangana, and they are the very famous centers for spirituality and religious centers. And this Rama temple, the Bhadrachalam is famous for its paper mills. So paper mills are located at Bhadrachalam. And near the Godavari river, in the Godavari river, Pushkar Mela will be occurred every 12 years. So for every 12 years, Pushkaras will be celebrated in the river Godavari. Next, Nirmal district is famous for the wooden toys. So in the Nirmal district, mostly wooden toys will be prepared. Next, Ramagundam thermal power station, which is located in Kottagudem. So Ramagundam thermal power station will produce 2600 megawatts of electricity. So Ramagundam thermal power station, yesterday also in the previous video we have discussed that by coal, if electricity is generated, we call it as thermal power station. So it is located in Ramagundam, we have discussed there. So Ramagundam thermal power station will produce 2600 megawatts of electricity. And finally, Vijayeshwaram. In the area of Vijayeshwaram, natural gas power center is located. So in Vijayeshwaram, natural gas power center is located. So these are the different important points covered in the chapter